If you found yourself surrounded by a lot of orange lately, you're either being subjected to the hellscape that is summer road construction season, or you bore witness to the cultural event that was Taylor Swift announcing her new album last week, which some people may have also considered a hellscape. I'm Kate with Marketecture, and this is The Refresh, your weekly download on what went down in advertising. This week we're covering Walmart and the Trade Desk's relationship status, Google using Gemini to combat ad fraud, and a wrap-up of this year's upfronts. So let's get into it. If we were still using Facebook to announce our relationship status, Walmart and the Trade Desks would have just gone from married to in an open relationship. The two have been in an exclusive relationship since 2021. But last week, the information reported that the exclusivity clause in their agreement was nixed. This allows Walmart to shop around and strike up agreements with other DSPs to enable their Walmart shopper data through. Working with other DSPs would give Walmart some leverage when it comes to negotiating fees with the Trade Desk. On the other hand, as retail media demand grows, I can also see Walmart wanting to go after other DSPs' client bases and their ad spend. Earlier this year, Walmart reported that revenues from Walmart Connect increased 31% year over year. They also noted that this revenue growth helped them to offset inflation and tariff pressures. There's also whispers that Walmart could be building out their own in-house platform. I'm a little skeptical on whether or not they'd be building out their own ad buying or ad serving platform, at least not in the near term, but I certainly wouldn't rule it out. They definitely have the resources to do so. And let us not forget, their Vizio acquisition is still very much in play. Moving over to Google, who, much like Batman, has been working undercover to combat ad fraud crime, specifically invalid traffic on websites and mobile apps. Adweek's Kendra Barnett reported that Google has been working over the past year and a half to use their Gemini products, large language models, and machine learning to identify and weed out this traffic. Reports from Google largely point to these efforts being a great success, including a 40% reduction in IVT on mobile apps from deceptive or disruptive ads. The ad industry has relied on machine learning algorithms to identify and remove harmful traffic across the web for years now. Large language models improve on these methodologies thanks to their ability to learn, reason, and adapt to their environment, allowing them to experience ads much like a human would. It's nice to see Google using these models for something they're inherently good at and to solve for a real problem, pervasive and persistent ad fraud across the open web. Finally, upfronts are winding down, and Variety reported that for the third year in a row, primetime TV commitments have declined. Both broadcast and cable commitments were down 2.5% and 4.3% respectively, while streaming commitments were up almost 18%. Those streaming investments helped to drive up total commitments this year, despite fears that tariffs and inflation would deter advertiser spend. To probably no one's surprise, sports are the big story here. Over the past year or so, we've seen a lot of effort being put into porting this programming over into streaming environments. Legacy networks and streaming-first platforms alike know this is where eyeballs and ad spend have and will continue to flow. That's all we have time for this week. Thanks for joining us for The Refresh, and we'll catch you next week.